Open House, a 10-minute play by Richard Bont. Characters. Dal, 25-year-old renter. Lee, a 28-year-old landlord. Jill, a 24-year-old landlady. Setting, one large room, a big clock indicating 1 o'clock on the wall, up center. A freestanding door up left that swings outwards onto a short path winding down left. On this path outside the door are 2 signs mounted on tripods. One sign reads, Open House, Roommate Wanted. The other sign reads, Warning, we retain the right to choose whomever we want. Down center, 3 high stools next to a bar. Jill, 24, and Lee, 28, both wearing blue face makeup, sit at the bar in front of 2 empty glasses. At rise, steps can be heard. Together, Lee and Jill look up at the clock. Outside, along the path, a woman of 24, Dal Ding, wearing bright red face makeup, walks up and stares at the signs. Then she rings the bell. Lee goes to the door and peers at her through the peephole. He hesitates, but then opens the door halfway.
Open house?
Dal puts her foot in the way.
Open house.
Maybe, but please remove your foot and wait outside.
Lee shuts the door, but Dal knocks louder.
Maybe. Aren't you looking for a roommate?
Be right back, ma'am.
Lee runs over to Jill.
She's deep red.
Deep red? And it's a she, a female?
What's wrong with female?
What's wrong with male?
It's got to be one or the other.
Not anymore. Why do we specify roommate when we really want a blue roommate?
Because that would be discrimination.
Since when is our personal choice discrimination?
It is in today's world, but what do I tell her?
Is she pretty? Do you want her?
Yeah.
I don't like the way you said that. Yeah, libidinous.
You're a libidinous. She'll help with the rent. Don't worry, she'll be no threat to you. But should we accept deep red?
I would have preferred light blue. Make sure she's not woke, okay?
How can I tell if she's woke or not? They're hidden in the population now. For sure, she's deep red, a primary color.
The worst would be a woke what's-it roommate. Can't have that. Anything but that.
Banging on the door, Dal shouts from the outside.
Hey, I'm a student. I need a room for school. Do you want a roommate or not?
Better go answer. Deep red sounds aggressive. I told you before, I really want a light blue beta male like you.
The door behind him.
Sorry about that. I had to get the okay.
For what? This is an open house, right?
Can I see some form of identification?
Dal hands over her driver's license. Lee stares at her.
Dal Ding, that's your name? And you're born female, right?
What kind of question is that?
He hands her a mini iPad from his pocket.
You need to put your sex down in writing, Ms. Ding. Here, on our Chooser app.
Are you serious that I'm female? Is this app sort of like Tinder?
Remember, you asked that question. I didn't answer it. Basically, you are saying it's like Tinder, not me. Anyway, please fill in this very short profile form now.
I don't want to fill in any profiles yet. I want to come in and see the place first. How much is the rent?
$500 a month.
Oh, that's a bit steep.
You should see what our expenses are. Anyway, no profile, no open house.
They stare at each other. She finally takes the iPad and types in her name.
Now, please check and fill in the race and color, light, medium, or dark. Well, I guess you're dark red. Gender preferences, sex assigned at birth, pronouns, prejudices, no work and no professional victim boxes, and then hit save.
Why?
Because you want to see the place, don't you?
Dal nods. She checks all the boxes and clicks save. Inside, Jill returns to her seat at the bar.
Also, check the box at the bottom declaring your answers to be as true as the day you were born female.
The save and truth boxes are redundant. This all seems a bit racist and sexist, if you want to know the truth.
That's your interpretation and our choice. We just want to know who's in our apartment. That's why we put the signs out there.
Dal checks the final truth box. She pushes past him and walks inside. He follows her in and closes the door.
Oh, this is very nice here. But where would I sleep?
You're not from the zone, are you?
Another question? You think I'm an immigrant?
I noticed the address on your driver's license. Isn't 1950 Main Street in the immigrant zone?
Main Street extends from the zone to downtown BlueVille.
But technically, you live in the immigrant zone part of Main Street.
Yes, I do. Do you discriminate against immigrants? Would you feel better if I wasn't from the zone?
You should say, if I weren't from the zone, not if I wasn't from the zone. It sounds better. Anyway, Dal, may I call you Dal? The signs say we choose, not discriminate. Let me ask you this. If our roles were reversed, wouldn't you choose?
You're just saying that because I'm red. And who's the we you keep talking about? Do you have a girlfriend or a wife here?
He stares at her and stays silent.
Boyfriend? Husband?
I'm not gay.
You could be LGBTQ plus minus divided by percentage hash mark sign.
Hold on. This is about you. You're deep red. And I've allowed you in. So would you discriminate if our roles were reversed against blue people, for example?
I normally never associate with blue or purple people.
Well, at least you're honest. My name's Lee, by the way, Lee Leviathan. Come in and meet Jill.
They shake hands. Lee walks downstage to where Jill is sitting at the bar. Dal follows. Jill stands up.
Hi, I overheard parts of your conversations. Dal Ding? My name's Schnuck. Jill Schnuck? You ask who we is? That's us. We're looking for a roommate. Pleased to meet you.
Hi, pleased to meet you too.
Ding is a typical red name.
That's because I'm red.
You look deep red, if you don't mind my saying, with maybe something else mixed in. Just saying. Anyway, as you can see, I'm pure blue, light blue.
Jill extends her hand to Dal. Dal shakes it.
I need a place to stay, and your place is on the steep side. I have a limited budget, but I have good references.
Before we look at those references, why would a deep red, presumably single woman like you, move out of the immigrant zone to downtown BlueVille?
I need a place close to BlueVille U. You guys aren't against red people, are you?
Sounds like a projection, doll. Some of my best friends are deep red. I'll introduce you sometime. Come with me, I'll show you the place.
Jill and Dal walk backstage. Lee goes to the bar, pours drinks.
You want honesty? It's a question of preference. Lee wants a female, I prefer a male. We're traditional, no gender dysphoria here, no queer, no pan, no transsexual, no hash marks. How do you like the back room?
It seems fine for the money. And there's a separate entrance. Are you sure you don't have an animus against
I
reds?
don't know what it is about you deep red people. You have a chip on your shoulders, and you project that chip onto us. It's simple. We're just looking for a roommate to help with the rent. You're looking for a place to park your chip.
Come to the bar, ladies. Let's have a drink.
Lee serves wine, but Dal declines. Jill and Lee toast.
What kind of place is this? I thought you needed a roommate.
You need a drink, doll.
Taking another sip of her wine.
It's vintage Merlot, very full-bodied.
I'm leaving.
Dal makes
want-
for the door.
I want you to stay. I'm sure we can work things out.
She smiles and gently guides Dal to a seat at the bar.
I told you, some of our best friends are deep red.
Remember, Dal, we're not going to treat you special because you're deep red.
Who cares if I'm red? I'm just looking for a room to rent.
Of course. Oh, by the way, you say your name is Ding, but you don't live with other deep red people. Instead, you live mostly with immigrants in the zone. And now, for some cockeyed reason, you want to move here.
Student, okay? I want to be near BlueVille U. I was too far away before, and I can't pay full rent. I'm single now.
Now?
Why? You used to be married?
Yes.
To whom? Another immigrant?
Is there something wrong with that?
I sure is. You wouldn't have been married to any fez heads, would you?
No.
To any speckled prunes, yellow-skinned fruitcakes, any kernels or linkies?
No.
How about redbacks? Did you marry a quacker?
Dal walks off. Lee restrains her.
I have a sense of humor, Dal. We have to make sure you aren't a victim looking for someone to blame.
I checked the no victim box.
No, you told us your name was Ding, and then you said you married an immigrant. Is Ding your married name? What's your maiden name?
I am so tired of this.
Dal pulls away, but Lee restrains her again.
Please, I want you to stay.
Your wife doesn't.
She's not my wife.
Now, you're not just deep red. No deep red lives in the zone unless they're more than deep red. Let's Google you.
Jill grabs Lee's iPad and Googles Dal's name. Dal bolts. Lee grabs her.
It's all here. You and your former purple husband. Your full name's Dal Rak Ding. Rak is your maiden name. You're a red what's-it, a student immigrant yak from Yakland. You didn't mention yak before, did you? You wanted to hide behind your deep red color, especially since you married an illegal refugee, David Ding from Blue Land. But underneath all that, basically, you're a yak.
Okay, so I'm a yak. No big deal.
No big deal. Yaks, the race, the concept, the way of life, no big deal.
Why is it a big deal?
Because we don't want yaks here, in this apartment, in BlueVille proper, and in this incredible country of Blue Land. That's why. How did you ever get into BlueVille U? Maybe it's not systemically racist after all. It's bad enough you're being deep red, but a yak? Oh, and what's worse is you seem to think you belong here. Lee, I want you to tell her why we don't like yaks out loud to her face. Do you hear me? Don't be afraid.
Why don't you do it, Big Mouth?
You brought her in here. This is on you, brother, if you've got the balls.
Oh, wow. You guys are blue supremacists, the kind I've read about.
Come on, Lee. You spent hours talking to me about how bad yaks are, and now you want to take one into our apartment? Are you crazy?
Why don't you like yaks?
Lee?
To tell you the truth, Dal, I never found out. My dad once told me a yak was the worst enemy our kind could ever have.
How so?
A yak is the other guy, isn't it?